Hello, I'm Simon. I'm from England, living here in Argentina. I'm going to answer a few questions for you. Question number one comes from Graciela Formoso. She asks, why do you think Scotland wants to remain part of the UK? The answer to this is basically because for Scotland it's an economical advantage to remain part of the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom supports Scotland's economical and social economy, funding the offices, the schools, the hospitals, the maintenance of the infrastructure is all funded by the United Kingdom. Also, the United Kingdom has a joint national debt of over £1 trillion, that's million billion pounds. So Scotland would therefore be liable for 30% of the debt. So it will stay with England or with the United Kingdom. Question number two comes from Pamela Kulikowski, who is Vanessa's sister, and she asks, barbecue or asado? In England, the barbecue is very popular. However, a typical English barbecue consists of chicken, hamburgers and sausages, which rather just get thrown onto the barbecue and tend to be not well cooked. So you would be eating a piece of chicken and inside it would be nice and red and all the blood just dripping out. The Argentine asado is very nice. Just the meat is excellent, and it's like a 5-star English barbecue. It's very nice. Question number three comes from Jessica Sosa, I think.
Jessica Sosa.
Jessica Sosa, thank you. And she asks, what's the difference between Argentinian and British people? The answer is really not much. Just the language is a bit different. I find the Argentinian people and the English people very, very similar in friendliness, humour, and compared to, for example, Europeans such as the French, the Germans, who are very opposite to English and Argentinians. I've seen a difference really between the cultures, the Argentinian and the English culture, very similar. Yeah, a bit louder, I've got to speak louder. Right. We're going to talk about now some typical myths, the myths that people think about the English, about the British. Vanessa asks, is it true that you have tea at 5 PM? Unfortunately we don't. I don't know nobody who stops at 5 o'clock for tea. England is a nation of tea drinkers and tea lovers, but they drink all day, so nobody stops at 5 o'clock. So that's a myth, number one. Number two, Chloe Gonzalez?
Noelia Gonzalez.
Pardon?
Noelia Gonzalez.
Noelia Gonzalez asks, do English people still eat fish and chips? Yes, we do. That's not a myth. We do, yes. I miss fish and chips. Next question from Jessica Escobar. She asks, is it true about the bad weather? People tend to believe that in England it rains all the time. This is, of course, a myth. I think it definitely rains more than here in Argentina, but it certainly doesn't rain every day. So that's a myth. So don't believe people when they tell you it rains in England all the time. Dulce de leche or peanut butter? Good question. In England, we don't eat peanut butter, so maybe that's a myth. I tried peanut butter, and it's nothing like dulce de leche. so it's not a very good comparison. We have dulce de leche in England. It's called caramel. It's similar. It's not the same. Dulce de leche is much better. Alexandra Gonzalez asks, would you like to have a family in Argentina? That's a good question. Yes, it depends. I mean, I think the question means really, would you like to stay in Argentina? I've travelled the world, and I think Argentina is one of the countries I would stay in if I could, or if I had the choice. Yeah, certainly. Start a family, have an Argentinian family. Do British people love the Queen? I think the British people are divided about their loyalty to the Queen. I would say, as opposed to British people, English people, and British people include obviously Scotland, Ireland and Wales, who don't care. The Queen is good for economy and good for tourism. She's half loved and half people don't care about. So Vanessa and Natalia ask. Natalia, I said Natalia.
Natalia.
Natalia. Natty. Do the people of the Malvinas have the same accent as the British? No, they don't. They got their own accent. It's difficult to explain. That's it. That is the accent. The people of the Malvinas, they own a British passport, but they've probably never been to England. So they talk very strange. Final question. Pamela asked me, have you ever been robbed? Well, touch wood. No, I haven't. I'm not in Argentina. So by the time this video gets sent, maybe I will have been robbed. Who knows?
Okay, Marok has another question.
Yes. Give me a question, Marok.
Marok. Why you decided to come here? Why Argentina?
Sit down. Marek, good question. Good question. Probably the best question all day. Why Argentina? I've travelled extensively around the world, and I think probably Argentina is one of the most favourable places to live and work. It's because really Argentina is very much like England or Europe, so I feel very comfortable here. Marek would love to live in England.
Of course.
Yeah.
And are people in Argentina friendly?
The people I've met have been very friendly, yes. Very nice.
Thank you. Say goodbye. Cookie.
Now, what we're going to do is look at this.
No.
Somebody's missing. Okay.
No.